Stepped into days and legends so wild, where chaos rules and sanity's exiled. Tech toys and gadgets fill the air. Superheroes talk without a care. In this realm of wires and might, late night sessions feel so right. Insanity's dams we all embrace, a smile found on every.
Hey guys, welcome back again to Dave's Dimension. Welcome back again for another video. Welcome back again to the channel that is your home for tech, toys, and talk. And of course, the channel where chaos and insanity will always reign supreme. So we're back again for another video. This was not a video I was planning to make. But I kind of feel like I kind of need to throw a voice out there pertaining to the proton packs. Now, as you guys can see right below, we have our first pack. The first Hasbro Proton Pack, the HasLab Spangler Proton Pack from Afterlife. Okay, I mean, this was a crowning achievement when it first came out. You know, it was the first Ghostbusters HasLab ever, which was amazing, and they gave us this weathered, highly textured Proton Pack. Yes, a lot of us in the community, we did upgrade the hell out of these. Hell, I've been slowly upgrading mine from Afterlife into Frozen Empire. That's just me personally. I know people who took these packs, they stripped it down, gave it a nice clean black look, so you had an 84 pack like we see on the right side of the screen. Okay? I mean, this had everything. I mean, it had weathered components, also all the grommets, like the red cables with the leg wrists right here, all the brass parts, everything disconnected, which was great for me. As someone who cosplays and someone who goes to cons, it was a gift and a curse. I'll explain what I mean by those. It was great because if you're traveling, a lot of times if you're traveling, whether in car, airplane, train, whatever the case may be, a lot of times you're always afraid, okay, is something going to knock in? Is something going to catch the cables and then tear them, cause some damage? It was great with the rubber greebles, the little rubber transistors and everything on here, that everything just kind of like came right off. You could like pluck everything off of the pack and then throw it in like a Ziploc bag, right? And throw it in your duffel with the rest of your Ghostbuster gear. That was great. I've seen the downside to that. The curse is sometimes, like especially I've seen it at Ghostbusters Day and at a few cons, parts will come off of the proton packs. Okay? But for the time, I mean, like roughly about $400, you got this full proton pack without the wand, which was amazing, especially since we were able to actually disassemble the proton pack. I mean, they did this little time limited offer where you can get like the slime attachments, and then they did the marshmallow attachments, and we got the mini puffs. We got the Spangler notebook. We got some decals and stickers to play with. We had a decent stand. It wasn't the greatest stand, let's be honest. It wasn't the greatest stand. I still have mine, but I actually painted mine silver. A lot of people did some pretty awesome customs right there. But we had where the cyclotron core, or the cake as we call it, you could take it right out of the inside of the proton pack. You could set this up as a very cool display. Because Ghostbusters Afterlife was the first time we got to see the proton pack, at least the core of the cyclotron, disassembled. And there's a lot of playability with it, where you can take out the little components. I mean, it's tons of fun. Now, yes, it did not come with an Alice frame, but we had these straps, okay? And that's where some of the contention is lately. I mean, this was a great crowdfund, a great campaign for when it came out. Now, over those past several years, a lot has changed in the collectors community. Tariffs aside, collecting itself has been a little bit harder on us collectors. Okay. Now this is great. A lot of people wanted the 84, and then about a year ago, they released the 84 Neutrona wand, which made people think, hey, are we going to get the 84 pack? Here's the 84 pack. And as someone who saw this in person, the prototype that is, who saw it in person at Ghostbusters Day, this is an amazing looking pack. It is a great sequel to the Afterlife pack. It truly is. Now, they did not have everything all geared up and functional, but it was a full colored prototype. From the knobs here to, I mean, everything looks vibrant. Take a look at these two right here. The 84 pack is so much more vibrant. It's that black, that fresh black coat of paint on there that makes it look so fantastic. Okay, we don't have the frosted faded lens like we do for the Power Cell. It's nice and clear here. We can see the clear LEDs as clear as day. Obviously, the cyclotron lights. We don't have that slight distressed look, so everything looks fantastic. Hell, even the shock mount looked friggin' fantastic in person. Now, this, of course, will not come with a wands, just like its predecessor. This is not a true HasLab, or at least a HasLab in the way that we've known it. This is a pre-order. We don't know when the pre-order is going to end, though. Okay? That's legit. We really don't know when the pre-order is going to end. I mean, they could pull it next week. They could pull it 3 months from now. We don't know. But, as you can see, $299, we're getting this standalone proton pack. It will have the hose, and from what I've been told, the hose is compatible with both Spangler's Neutrona wand and also the 84 wand, so choose your flavor. You can customize either to look like either one, so that's also a cool thing. Now, this will have straps on it. It will not have the mounting brackets. I've seen a lot of people posting hate on Hasbro for not including the mounting brackets. For one, for most people, if they're happy without the Alice frame, they can just rock it with the straps that it comes with. Okay? That's perfectly fine. For those who are wanting to mount an Alice frame, it's still going to have the existing threaded ports on the back of the proton pack. What that means is you just have to source the hardware out yourself. Honestly, given our community of customizers and builders, I don't see that being a problem. I see people, there's already stores on Etsy that were selling you the spacers, 3D printed spacers for the HasLab brackets that we had on the original proton pack. So to believe it's far-fetched that we're going to have trouble when this pack doesn't come out, it's not going to ship until March 1st of 2026, guys. So, take a little sigh of relief with that. That's plenty of time for us to develop. I mean, hell, if you have the Spangler, Afterlife proton pack, you could take your brackets off of that. You can measure them out. You could probably make your own brackets. Okay? It's not that hard of a stretch. Or you find someone who can take the measurements, they machine the brackets, and then they start selling them on Etsy or eBay, or hell, who knows? Maybe even strike up a deal with GB Fans or someone else. Who knows? There's plenty of marketplaces and groups out there where people are going to source and make their own brackets. And hell, you could take the existing screws and bolts from the Afterlife HasLab, take it to your local hardware shop, whether it's Ace, Lowe's, Home Depot, whatever kind of places you have nearby, and see if they can source the exact bolts, which I'm sure they could. And there, you already have your bolts, you have your screws, you have your hardware right there. Like I said, the spacers you can buy on Etsy. There's plenty of stores that make them. And then you take the actual silver brackets that they have, you measure them, maybe even get someone who's good at bending metal, and you make your own. It's not that hard of a concept. Plus, the HasLab Proton, or the Ghostbuster Proton pack for Hasbro, is not that heavy. It's not like we're wearing a Ben & Kent pack. Nothing against Ben & Kent. I have one of their packs. It is a massively just robust pack that can take a hit like there's no tomorrow. But what I'm saying is, you don't have that kind of a weight like you do with Ben & Kent's or half the other proton pack makers out there in the world. Amateur, of course. Even if you go for like something that is like completely all metal, you're still, I mean, this is light as a feather compared to that, So you don't need as much strength metal wise. I mean, you could do some basic aluminums and just bend them so that they bolt on and they hold your Alice frame onto the back of your Hasbro Proton Pack. You're good to go, guys. It's not that bit of a stretch, but I will admit, full disclosure, I mean, let's face it, the Ghostbusters community at large, we love when there's something new, but then also, just like with every fandom, it could be Star Trek, could be Star Wars, could be insert fandom here, Babylon 5. You have your Hell Divers, anything and everything out there. Whenever we get something cool, we have to praise it, but then we also have to damn it. And there's a lot of people who are getting very, I'm going to use the word excited, very excitable, which is not necessarily a positive, can be also a negative. But what's happening is people are getting frustrated. They're like, hey, why aren't we getting the hardware? Why aren't we getting the brackets? Let's take a look. $400 Proton Pack versus a $300 Proton Pack. We do know that they've downscaled, not size, but features wise. Now, I know for a fact that this Proton Pack is only going to feature 84 sounds. It's not going to have Afterlife. Why should it? This is a 1984 pack. Afterlife never happened. Okay. I spoke with one of the reps of Hasbro at Ghostbusters Day myself. Spoke with, I believe his name is Zach, and he told me that it's going to have 84 sounds, and it may, he said may, he didn't say yes 100% or no, but he said there's a possibility that there may be some audio Easter eggs from Ghostbusters, a video game, which would make sense because in the wands we had the video game modes in there. So it'd be cool if they feature that on the pack. I don't think this is going to have the rumble feature. He did say that there were some concessions that they made to the packs. Okay. Now you might hear the word concessions. You're like, oh, great. Great. We're getting downgraded. Not necessarily. You may not have the rumble motor, which I know a lot of people weren't even a fan of to begin with. And second, we're going to have, because on here, you're going to have a USB Type-C port. So you could take your town cell, your blue brick batteries, you can plug it into that USB Type-C port. That, when it's running on the USB Type-C, guess what? No timeouts. That's right. We're not going to have a timeout on the Proton Pack. You'll probably still have a timeout on the wand, but that's a quick fix. 1, 2, 3, start her up. Good to go. But we're not going to have the timeout feature that we had before, which is a good thing. You're still going to have consistent power going into the wands. The wand is still going to have a timeout, but that's neither here nor there. That the pack can't change that, okay? But as far as that goes, I mean, we're going to have the pack constantly running, no timeouts, which is fantastic. I love that. I already know there's a few things I'm going to change when I get my 84 pack. Yes, you heard me right. I pre-ordered the 84. Why not? It's an amazing pack. I think it looks damn beautiful, if you ask me. It looks pristine. So anyone who loves to cosplay 84 Ghostbusters, this is your perfect pack. I'm not a fan of the V-hook going straight, but that is how it was in the movies in the first one. So they did keep screen accurate to that. But I mean, as far as the complaints about the brackets, guys, that's a pretty simple fix, guys. Okay? We, as a Ghostbuster community of amateur prop makers, modders, I mean, Ghostbusters is about kind of doing things by the seat of your pants, guys, okay? Sometimes, stuff happens and who you going to call? That's us, okay? So as far as the brackets, we can make and fashion our own brackets, guys. Whether you're 3D printing the spacers or maybe even trying to 3D print your own brackets, maybe using PETG, PTEG, or PETG, or even just taking some aluminum, taking it to a hardware shop somewhere, a workshop, and just bending the hell out of it so you get that perfect shape. Guys, you can do that. There's ways we can fasten and secure this. And I guarantee, probably within the next 2 or 3 months, you're going to have someone on Etsy selling these brackets, selling these kits. They're going to source the hardware. They're going to source those bolts and screws, and they're going to have spacers, and they're going to have a bracket set. I guarantee people will be selling them. The only thing you're going to have to worry about is either finding an 84 wand, which is becoming increasingly harder, and securing your Alice frames. Those are going to be your two problems you're going to have to worry about. As far as the USB Type C port on back of the Proton Pack, I mean, I think it just makes sense to, if you're going to do like a town cell battery pack, like what I do, I'm going to 3D print something and attach it to the back of my Proton Pack. There's also one or two vendors out there, one or two makers. You can find them through various Facebook pages where they have actually been making motherboard, the backing of, for the Proton Pack, for the HasLab, for the Hasbro Proton Packs. So I think, if anything, right now might be a good time to order those so you have it ready and waiting for when you do get your 84 packs. But guys, what I'm trying to get at is, this pack looks amazing, okay? This is definitely a step forward. Did we think we were going to get another Proton Pack? No, we didn't, but we did, which was pretty damn amazing all onto itself. But what I'm saying is, ease up, and I am not affiliated with Hasbro in any shape or form, but I'm saying is, ease up on the Hasbro teams. I mean, they had to create this within a certain budget, okay? And if you look at it, let's look at the numbers real quick, guys, okay? Let's look at this. If you consider this not a HasLab, if you consider this a regular Ghostbuster product, which many people do, here's the thing. It is a $300 Hasbro item. Aside from maybe Force Effects lightsabers for Star Wars, when have we ever seen anything come close to a $300 value that is not a HasLab? I mean, there might be one or two Transformers that might come close to around 200 to 2 and change. But take a look at this. $300. We know these packs are amazing. They have great cosplay capabilities. We know we can mod them. We've been modding the Afterlife pack for the past several years. We know there's so much you can do to this. I could even see someone trying to turn this into Ghostbusters, the video game Proton Pack. I can see it happening. But the thing is, this is something we're already familiar with. $300 is a no-brainer. Yes, you do have to spend $130 maybe to get the wands if you want, right? But the brackets, that's a little breadcrumb, okay? You know what? That it's not that big of a deal. It's like if you ordered a sandwich, but you said no crust, and there's still crust on it. Take the butter knife, cut the crust off. You're good to go, kids. Come on. In this case, the brackets, the hardware, we can source them out. Hell, we could probably go to like Home Depot right now with the brackets from the Afterlife HasLab and with the screws, and we could probably find what we're looking for, and we already have it all fixed and resolved within minutes, guys. I swear you could probably go to a hardware store and just source the stuff out and say, hey, I have this bracket. Is there any way we can possibly duplicate this? It's doable, guys. It's doable whether you have a workshop at your disposal or not. 10 to 1, I could probably do this in my little workspace here in the spare bedroom of my apartment that I use as a collection room. This is like where I'm doing a lot of mods and 3D printing stuff. And this is my work desk that I use for streaming, but that I also use for working from home. Okay? I don't have a garage. I don't have a proper workshop, but I do a lot of the stuff here. And I guarantee you guys, you can do the same thing in your homes as well. The bracket issue is negligible, guys. It's negligible. And you might come back at me and say, well, Dave, if it's negligible, why couldn't they do it? Because they had to get everything under the wire under a certain price point. We know collecting in general is under a lot of scrutiny, guys. Is under a lot of scrutiny. Okay? When it comes down to it, they pulled off a Proton Pack that was originally around $400, and they brought it under the $300. Okay? We don't have a proper campaign. I consider this a HasLab because it is kind of a HasLab, and other collectors in the collector space have even said that Hasbro would be foolish not to change their methods. They gave us the Proton Pack without the campaign, without the stretch goals. $300, You could probably sit about $35 to $37 a month from now until March, and you'll have this paid for. And I'm talking after tax. Okay, it's a no-brainer. Okay, as far as the V hook, I can change that. I can change it and move it. In fact, on my HasLab, I actually replaced my V hook completely with a screen accurate one. Works perfectly fine on the Spengler wand, and it should work perfectly fine on an 84 wand once I get one in my hands. But what I'm saying is, we stress the hell out. We freak out. Oh, this doesn't have the brackets, guys. We can make them. It's not that hard of an ask. It's not that big of a thing. We can make them ourselves, guys. Trust me, I know we can. It's not a heavy duty proton. It's not a heavy duty pack. It's a 1-to-1 scale pack, but it's much lighter. That's why so many of us love the HasLab packs, the Hasbro packs, because they're so much lighter on us than something we 3D printed. Because I'm actually 3D printing a crossover proton pack, but that's a whole other story onto itself. But still, Hasbro comes out lighter than a 3D printed pack, even with all the hardware. It comes out lighter than a Ben and Kent pack and many other proton packs out there, guys. So, fact of the matter is, we're still getting an amazing product, and I just think we need to take a step back. If you happen to know someone who has a Afterlife pack, if you don't, ask them, hey, could you do me a favor? Could you measure the bolts? Or hey, can I see some of the bolts that you have? I want to take measurements. Can I take a look at your bracket? I just want to take measurements. Take measurements and make the stuff yourself. And again, guys, I promise you, someone is going to be making these. Someone is going to be making these, and you know what? We're going to be able to buy them, get them shipped to our homes, and we'll be ready. These will be parts that we will be waiting for the pack to be delivered. We're going to have all this stuff before then. So guys, please take a deep breath. Don't I see a lot of people stressing all over Facebook and Instagram right now about the brackets. It's not that big of a deal, guys. Respectfully speaking, it's not that big of a deal. I think it's something that can easily be sourced and we can easily make it ourselves. Okay? Plus, I probably about 85% of people I know do not wear the straps that come with these packs, okay? They're going to be removing the straps. They're going to put an Alice frame on anyways. And, a lot of people nowadays tend to swap out your Alice frame straps for maybe some of the more padded ones. There's a lot of things you guys can do, guys. But I just wanted to come on here and kind of just like clear, throw some of my thoughts out here, because on Facebook, I see so many people kind of bagging all over this. Oh, why can't we get this? Why can't we get that? No one's ever going to be 100% happy. Let's be honest, first and foremost. And let's be honest, if you've ever owned a proton pack, you've never taken a proton pack out of a box or unboxed something and kept it as is. Okay. I've told this to many people, even several YouTubers. Friend of the channel, Hey Archer, of the Real Nerd Busters and Nerd Affiliated, which you can find on the Hey Archer channel every Thursday night at 8:15 p.m. ish Eastern, 18:15 or 8:15 ish p.m. Eastern on his channel. He does an amazing stream. But I told him in the beginning, I was like, listen, when you get this pack, you're going to be working on it. You're going to be working on that pack. It is a constant process. It's like if you're a car guy, you buy a car, you don't just let the car sit there. You take it out for a drive, right? You're constantly trying to tune it up, trying to perfect it for what you want and what you like. That's the same way with a proton pack, okay? When I got my HasLab, I was like, this pack looks, I said, this pack looks great. I'm not going to change anything. Guess what? One of the first things I did was cut out those fake copper wires and I put actual wires on mine. That was one of the first things I did. Then I did the door mod, and then I replaced the lens on the power cell. I got some Moby Sign decals for my cyclotron lenses to give it more of a weathered look. I always keep that pack on the Afterlife settings because I like that kind of erratic light pattern on there. Hell, some of the grommets, I actually painted them. to give that more of a brass look, that brass feel to them. That's just something I've done personally. You know, I did do the afterlife. The afterlife. Thong bumper, or sorry, not the afterlife, but the Frozen Empire. You know, I even did a little modification, so I had the shorter stuff. Shock mount on there. I've done a lot of stuff, and I plan to do more. Hell, someone may have even cut a good section of their proton pack off. Stay tuned for that, guys. But guys, until next time, this is Dave from Dave's Dimension saying keep on busting. And you know what I'm going to say. I say it every single time, guys. I will always catch you on the flip side. Take care.
Step into Dave's Dimension so wild, where chaos rules and sanity's exiled. Tech toys and gadgets fill the air. Superheroes talk without a care. In this realm of wires and might, late night sessions feel so right. Insanity's dams we all